Paul.
Thank you. Instead of attempting to alleviate the problems government has created for small businesses through lockdowns and mandates, the solution continues to be more government intervention and expansion of the bureaucracy. It is encouraging, though, to see that ending these onerous and ineffective restrictions has finally become a bipartisan issue in some areas. They didn't come to this conclusion on their own, of course. Pushback from parents and business owners have convinced them that these measures are deeply unpopular and no longer politically viable. The science didn't change, but the polls certainly have. Take, for example, Washington, D.C., where more than a quarter of the workforce has been impacted by vaccine mandates. The local government is forcing business owners to act as the vaccine police. Today, Washington, D.C. was supposed to increase their vaccine passport mandate to bar those who are not fully vaccinated from frequenting local small businesses, such as restaurants, concert venues, or gyms. But they have since changed their tune, and as of today, are now ending the indoor mask mandates and vaccine passports altogether. We can all say, hooray. So instead of working to lift the restrictions on small businesses' livelihoods and returning freedom to underserved communities in all areas of the country, today we are faced with bills that often help one constituency, the federal bureaucracy. We have two bills before this committee that bolster government waste. A nearly extinct bureaucratic group known as the Interagency Committee on Women's Business Enterprise may have a chance to be revived today after more than 20 years of inactivity. Milton Friedman once said, if a government enterprise fails, it is expanded. If the initial reason for undertaking the activity disappears, they have a strong incentive to find another justification for its continued existence. American business owners do not need more federal committees and advisory group recommendations to grow their businesses, quite the opposite. In fact, what they need is for the government to stop preventing the free market from working. But there is a bright spot in today's markup. In my home state of Kentucky, hundreds of families in western Kentucky had their lives upended by the recent tornado outbreak. We are grateful that the first responders and disaster relief personnel from FEMA and the SBA that have been on the ground working to continue and to connect my constituents with the resources that are available. But arbitrary bureaucratic rules have left some Kentuckians in rural areas deprived of access to FEMA and SBA because violent storms just happen to hit a less densely populated area. The bill offered by Senator Risch will spur real reform to address the unique challenges rural America places in the wake of disasters. We will also vote on Senator Rubio's SBA transparency bill that would inform Congress if the SBA's IT programs are breached by a cyber attack and require the SBA to notify small businesses if their personal information was compromised. Transparency should be a bipartisan issue. Hopefully this legislation will encourage more sunlight on the SBA.
Thank you, Senator Paul. As is customary,